transition is with us, and it's here to stay. Global economics, technological changes at the speed of light, and social values that are changing faster than any time in the past. To help guide you along your journey in this fast-changing life, the show with a purpose: to empower, to enlighten, to educate, and to entertain. The show that offers you a friend, a guide in the most transitional time in the history of the human race. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Steve Beaman.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to this very special episode of the Steve Beaman Show. And you know, you're sitting there going, how come every week you say it's a very special episode? Well, because we try to make it so. This is a week in which, at the bottom of the hour, rather than going through the O word, which we did last week, we've actually got a double word this week. So, Carol, we're going to have some fun with that.
It's going to be positively double whammy-ish, huh?
It is, and this is a perfectly planned P-word show, so we're excited. We are so happy to be with you as we are every week. Hey, we do hope you had a chance to visit stevebeaman.com last week and see the video of us. We had our sunglasses on, and we were looking so stylish and so off the charts.
Yeah, we were looking kind of fun.
We got lots and lots of comments about it.
I know all the dancing. We shouldn't be dancing, Steve.
We're allowed to dance on stage. We'll go viral on a YouTube video with me swinging around.
The dancing co-host. Hey, Steve, you know, you've been watching.
Let me real quick. I just want to go through this because I don't want these people to miss this show, right? We are talking in the Master Your Mind segment in the physical path. What are we talking about?
Pilates.
And folks, you don't want to miss it. Carol is an expert in this stuff. If you want to get healthy, you want to be here for that segment. Bottom of the hour, we got the double P word. That's kind of exciting, and it's a lot of fun. And then coming back up the backside in the Master Your Money, we're going to help you master your money by learning how to build a financial plan. Plan.
Plan for prosperity.
There you go. The path to planned prosperity.
Love that.
Folks, you got to bear with us here. There's a lot of P words, and we're going to use every one of them some way. But yeah, it's been a great week. We're glad you're with us. And Carol, we've had some fun prepping for this show today.
We had a lot of fun prepping, Steve. No, Hey, Steve, too bad we didn't talk about this week's article, The Mind of an Olympian, because Olympian is an O word. Have you been watching the Olympics?
I haven't watched, but I've read a lot about it. And I think what the genesis of this article, again, is the notion that we're in the Summer Olympics time. We love to watch them. We like to see these really expert athletes. I'm talking to my trainer today, and he was saying that the rowers, the people who do the rowing, it gets to the point when they're at the end of their rowing competition that for all of them, their eyes start to go black.
Why?
They're out of energy. They're almost ready to pass out. They're optimized to go right to that end mark.
Wow.
It's extreme. And if you watch gymnastics or you watch any of these, it's extreme.
I remember being a kid and having them on and watching this. I mean, just glued to the Summer Olympics. I just loved them. I remember Nadia Comaneci.
Yep.
And I love gymnastics.
It's intense.
I love gymnastics because myself, it took me a year to learn how to do a cartwheel. Seriously. And yes, I just could not get the two-handed up and over, and I'm 5'6", so I'm not a little tiny thing either. But I just totally appreciate anybody that can do any of those flips and anything. They're amazing.
Well,
amazing.
It is. And so that's, as I thought about this week in an article that would be of interest, and these are all up on stevebeaman.com. You can check out all the writings we've done. But what I thought is I would lay out as best I could the way these athletes are optimized, because they're not just physical machines. There's a lot more to what makes them tick.
Well, it's interesting because you were talking about this emotional quotient, the intelligence quotient, and adversity quotient. And all of those things go into being a gold medalist Olympian.
You are not going to achieve great things if you don't have your emotional basket full. And as we go through that, a lot of research has been done on the emotional quotient, the intelligence quotient. The adversity quotient isn't as well known. It's something I ran across 30 years ago and latched onto. It measures the ability a person has to go through adversity. At what point do you get enough roadblocks in front of you that you stop? And I think a high adversity quotient is probably the number one trait to successful people.
I think you are exactly correct, because sometimes you hit it a wall, if you will, and you have two choices. You could quit because I'm done, I can't deal with this anymore, or you can press through that wall, go through the wall, go over the wall, go around the wall, and do whatever it takes.
You got it.
In your power and by the grace of God. And see, sometimes, this adversity quotient, that's where our mentoring and coaching comes in. Because sometimes if you had a coach that could see beyond that wall that, you just need to do, just give it a little more, give it a little
Carol,
more.
I've come full circle on that. 10 years ago, I would have thought the idea of a life coach was ridiculous. But I came to understand, show me an athlete that doesn't have a coach.
Absolutely.
And I started to study wealthy CEOs and very high-level performers in business. They all had coaches. And I think, wow, maybe there's something here for the normal people too. Maybe you can get a person to coalesce your emotional characteristics, your physical strength, and all of it into a package that succeeds.
You said something, and this might be off, but it's kind of on the same thing, and it's to coaching. Mm-hmm. Thousands of years ago, people always had mentors. There were apprenticeships, and there was someone there to teach them the way. I think lately, besides coaching, two parents are working.
There's no question. Transitioning the deeper cultural values has changed.
Exactly, the transitioning. You could go to your grandparents now. Grandparents don't even live in the same state. So you don't have some of those relationships that you used to, and this is part of that transition.
There's no question.
And that's why coaching is such a valuable, mentoring and coaching is a valuable thing.
It absolutely is. So as we look again at what I was writing, I'm looking at this physical strength and optimization they have. I likened it to a race car. An Indy 500 car is designed to go 501 miles. That's it.
Okay.
A dragster is designed to go 1/4 of a mile plus 1 foot.
Okay.
These athletes have that same thing.
But I didn't know that.
They also have their emotional side charged, and they have their intellectual side charged because they understand the dynamics of working out and the dynamics of all of these things.
Well, what's so interesting is that gymnastics in and of itself is a very individual sport.
Yep.
But the coolest thing is we have a team. And these athletes are so, like you said, they're emotional and they're intellectual and their adversities all part of who they are, and then they bring it to a team, which makes it, I love the word team too. Together, everyone achieves more.
That's right. Again, the rising tide lifts all boats.
All ships. Yep.
And when you put these teams on what are otherwise individual sports, look at baseball. Very much individual skill playing there. But when they play together as a functioning team, they become unstoppable.
Exactly.
And we'll see if the Cubs can actually do that this year. But yeah, so
the Bears played their first game Thursday night, but anyway, that's besides the point.
We'll see if the Bears can do anything. I still go back to the 80s Bears and wish we had the fridge.
I love the 80s Bears.
But the one thing I also brought up, if you've got your physical side together, your emotional side, your intellectual side, these athletes also have their spiritual side together. And they may not come from the faith system I have as a Christian. They may come from another system. But they are finding that within that spiritual realm, they find purpose and they find peace. And when you perform at that level, there are times you're going to lose, and you need to have something to fall back on. So these athletes who achieve such great things have intellectual togetherness, emotional, physical, and spiritual. And if they can do it, why can't we?
You could take so much and use that in your own life. And it's a holistic life. It is that emotional, that spiritual, that physical, and then that intellectual. And you put it all together.
Is.
What path are we going down this week,
We're on the physical path still. Mm-hmm. It's our second week or third week in the physical path.
I think second.
I think second?
Yeah.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this Pilates thing.
Okay.
Which is a genre of exercise, right? It's not a specific one exercise. It's a whole range of really good stuff. Part of the intellectual understanding of the physical path.
Yes.
You can't ignore knowledge. You can't ignore needing to know. So what we're going to do today is we're going to walk down the physical path. Carol is a registered physiologist, all this stuff. You're a trainer,
I'm a certified personal trainer, and I have got Pilates certification like 20 years ago before
right. You were there when the book was written,
well,
right?
Yes.
We date ourselves.
But you know what's really cool, Steve? It's an old school methodology, which we'll talk about. But getting back to these Olympians, could we live our lives as Olympians? And
Absolutely.
how do we best do that?
We absolutely can. Again, this is a jump up and the down thing because I believe in it. I was telling you about an email thing I got into on an article I'd written. I had a guy arguing with me and all
Yes.
that. And I was explaining in my response to his criticism that he too can build a great life. You've got to get out of the rut and into the groove, to use that statement so often.
I
But
love that.
You've got to be able to put your paths together so that you intellectually take your challenges, get your emotions right, get your physical stamina up, and do all that you can to live life, not just exist through this thing. It's short, it ends, and you want to live it to your fullest.
It's a holistic protocol of life.
It absolutely is. So, folks, stick around for that segment. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. And I'm excited again. We go to the bottom of the hour. This was so good, we had to have 2 words this time. And then as we talk about financial planning, I'm going to give you a little secret from some of the financial planning advisors. But we've got just a fabulous time with you. We are so glad you've taken the time to join us. And we'll be right back after this little quick break.
Hi friends, Carol Parisi here. If you're like me, you're always on the quest for improved sleep and more energy. I discovered the secret to getting this. It's tart cherries and their restorative powers. It's been found that tart cherry juice, like the Cherry Bundy brand, could help to relieve aches and pains, provide faster muscle recovery, and help you get a good night's sleep. The science shows that tart cherries and Cherry Bundy are rich in antioxidants that help reduce inflammation in the body. These antioxidants also work to reduce exercise-induced oxidative stress to help your body recover faster. Tart cherries also contain naturally occurring melatonin, known as a key ingredient to a good night's rest. To learn more about the science behind tart cherry juice, check out choosecherries.com. It's full of data from independent research studies. My favorite tart cherry juice brand is Cherry Bundy, which you could find at cherrybundy.com, spelled CHERIBUNDI.com. And tell them Steve and Carol sent you.
And you've got to come onto the video this week at stevebeaman.com because you're going to see Carol swinging on her protein drink.
This is my Cherry Bundy.
Well, there you go. We are sponsored in this segment by our friends at Cherry Bundy, but then again, we're sponsored in every segment by our friends at Cherry Bundy.
Love that tart cherry juice.
We absolutely do. But here we are in the Master Your Mind segment where we talk about the 5 paths to your transformed life. We talk about the emotional path, the spiritual path, the intellectual path, the physical path. We may leave the financial path to the Master Your Money side, so maybe we'll just stick to those 4.
I love that. I think that's actually a great idea because you could talk about the financial path every week because if you don't have money in this world...
Again, this isn't a money show, but I'll be doggone if it's not part of living.
I couldn't eat if I didn't have money.
You got to have a little bit. But we did touch on the intellectual path for 3 weeks. Now we're on the physical path for 3 weeks. And last week, I was corrected by my lovely co-host that we talked about the 30,000-foot view of the physical path and why it is so critically important. But this week, being the P word, we had to go to Pilates.
Okay, Pilates. Pilates is the past, 10 years. It's this new thing. Well, truly, it is not. Pilates is named after Joseph Pilates, and he was born in Germany in 1880. He was a sickly child, and he suffered from asthma, rickets, and rheumatoid fever. He dedicated his entire life to becoming physically stronger, and in his youth, Pilates studied and became a proficient at bodybuilding, diving, skiing, gymnastics, and by the time he was 14, he was fit enough to pose for anatomical charts. How is that?
That's impressive. I'm not anatomically fit to do that now.
He's got the Olympian mindset.
He had an
man.
Olympian mindset, and he was certainly living his life. But let's talk, Carol, conceptually. When you say Pilates, as I understand it, it's a system of a whole body notion of working out.
Originally, he called it controlology, okay? And here's the deal. It goes to the core, which is so interesting because if you look at anything, when you go to the core of something, that's the heart of the matter.
And if you come on and watch the video, I'm pointing at my core right now.
And your core is looking fine, my friend.
It's looking better than it ever has, so I'm not upset. But
Steve is getting fit. No, and it's your powerhouse. Your center is your powerhouse. But when you do Pilates, you want to put your mind into the muscle. You want to make sure you're fully extending your body. You want, while you're doing something called 100, okay? You're in a V position. You're sitting down, kind of in a V position, okay? So your butt's on the floor and your legs are up this way, and your arms and your body's up, and you want to breathe. but all the while you're using your core. That is your very first foundational principle of Pilates.
Okay.
And it's a great thing. It focuses on elongating the muscles. It's good for posture. It's good for back problems.
By the way, speaking of that, the workouts that I do are heavily geared toward this kind of stuff.
Okay.
And when you talk about back issues, again, I'm 54. I don't hide from that. I don't like that feeling of getting out of bed with a backache, right? 6 months ago, every day, I kind of lumbered out of bed and I was like, oh, I can't stand this. Now I get out of bed, outside of the fact my hips still feel like a 54-year-old, my back doesn't anymore.
Because your back is the opposing, it's all about this beautiful opposition work. It's using opposing muscles. Your stomach, your abdominal muscles are your opposing and antithetical muscles to your back muscles.
Yep.
So when you work them out and you put the mind into the muscle and use that core and then use that back, you're not going to have back problems. Personally, I'm going to be very honest. I have not been as focused and as diligent on my exercise, my physical path, as I normally have. Uh-oh. And I can so tell because, like you say, the back is not as strong because I have not been working that core. And there are great ways to work your core. And Pilates is a very gentle way. There's not a lot of what's the word I'm thinking of? Stress. Thank you. Stress on the muscles.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons we talk about having a trainer when you work out. If you go in and work out without a trainer, you will stress your tendons and the connective tissue.
Yes.
It's not your muscles you're hurting, it's the connective tissue, and that will cause you damage. If you do it right, like we're talking about right now, with a methodology and somebody who understands it, you're going to be able to get yourself back in shape and enjoy being on a better physical path, which, by the way, has so many benefits. It's not even funny. Lowers your blood pressure, lowers your diabetes risk, extends your life, extends your wealth because you have the energy to work. It extends your happiness. It's worth it.
Well, Pilates it's called the method, if you will. And here, the method. The method combines the best of Western and Eastern traditions, blending the mind and body and viewing them as unity, working complete harmony with one another. The Eastern approach to exercise is a path of calmness, being centered and whole with an emphasis on stretching and limberness. Okay? The Western approach emphasizes motion, muscle tone, strength. Joseph H. Pilates emphasized these two approaches in his method.
I think it's cool. Look, I grew up in a world in which all of us wanted to be Rocky.
Right? The muscles.
But what you miss is, again, going back to that article, The Mind of an Olympian, to be really great, you will get your mind in touch with your body. It's that drive to get it there and to make it work. And to know that what you're doing is affecting you deep.
It affects you very deep, and it's more than just the physical path.
Absolutely.
Okay? It touches on the emotional path because
you feel better about yourself.
You feel better. It's also your intellectual path because you can actually, when you're fitter, you think clearer.
By the way, it's also your financial path, and I'll bring that one in on this because you don't buy as much junk food, you don't buy as much quantity of food, you eat better, you save food budget, you save medical budget. What better is that?
Well,
Look
you're
good, feel good, and have more money.
You're talking now. You're going back to that 30,000 foot overview.
Yep.
But you're right. It makes so much sense. Your body is your machine, and you know what? Our Creator created us amazingly. If you start looking at DNA and how perfect all of that is, and I know I'm getting a little crazy deep, but if you take care of this machine, your machine's going to take care of you. Think about it. You have a car.
I'm transfixed.
What is your car? Your car is a machine. Could you imagine driving your car without changing your oil, or without getting tune-ups, or without going ahead and putting gas in it? What's going to happen to your car? How long is it going to last? Oh, okay. So you're going to get a new body. Well, have we got that technology yet?
We're getting there. They actually have artificial limbs that are bionic now. So the bionic man's not very far away.
No, I know that. But do you really want to go through that?
No, the fact is I don't want to go through it. I don't want a hip replacement, a knee replacement. I don't want a back replacement. I don't want all these things. What I want is to live to be about 90 years old with my mind and body in shape.
You know what I love? And I know this is kind of off the thing.
Our audience.
I love our audience. I hope our audience gets something out of this.
But you know what? Hey, real quick, folks, if you're listening to this and going, you know what, I like the idea. I think it's a really cool idea, but I don't know how to start. Write Carol at stevebeaman.com. Carol at stevebeaman.com. She'll unload on you, and I'm telling you, she'll give you more than you ever wanted to know. And by the way, this stuff doesn't cost you anything. That's what's wonderful about the mission that we're on, is we don't charge people for information. It's like we give you the wisdom and the information together so you know how to improve your life.
And the truth is we're experts. I mean, you're a master. I'm probably a fitness master. I've done it more than 10,000 hours. They say anytime you do something more than 10,000 hours, you're a master.
I am indeed the master of my own mind.
Well, that's a good thing, too.
That's all I have.
That's a great thing.
Who knows about anything else?
But no, Pilates is phenomenal. You know what? Google Pilates. You know what the cool thing is, Steve? They could Google Pilates and they can get YouTube videos that they could follow along with.
Here's what I want to caution people, though. We talked in the intellectual path about how there's information, there's knowledge, and there's wisdom. When you Google it, you get a lot of information.
Yes.
To convert that to knowledge is one thing. To convert it in wisdom is a whole nother. The understanding of how all this stuff plays together can sometimes require coaching. So reach out to Carol, get yourself on a good path.
Absolutely. Any questions? We're here to help you because we are your friends to create and help you.
And hey, real quick, if you're right, Carol, we just did a deal with our Cherry Bundy friends. They're sending me a bunch of coupons we can give you, so you can get a free coupon if you just write Carol.
Okay.
That'll work.
They can do that.
We'll mail them a coupon.
I'm not going to do a Pilates session with them, though.
We'll do one on air right now. No,
we can do the 100.
That was a joke. We're not going to really do that. Although, if you do come to the stevebeaman.com site, you can see the videos, and they are kind of fun. We waved everybody because it's nice to have you see us and what we're trying to do here. We are trying to create a show, my friends, that's about your life.
You know, Steve, you and I have talked at length about possibly doing a longer show with call-ins.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
Maybe even some type of webinars. Maybe we need to do that.
I think, folks, we've talked about it before. Write Steve at stevebeaman.com, Carol at stevebeaman.com. Like us on Facebook. Send us a message through there at The Steve Beaman Show. Let us know, because if you want us to do more interactive things with you, we are all over that, because
Absolutely.
This show and our lives are devoted to you. We have a sign-off at the end of the show. If you've never listened to us, maybe stick around for it, because it is truly the signature of our show. And so we've got a lot going on again. And here we come to the bottom of the hour, my favorite time of the show, where we have a double word today.
It's 2 for 1.
I'm not going to begin to give away the secret. I never do.
It's going to be powerful.
It's going to be a powerfully perfect word, or words this time. So stick with us for that. And again, my friends, we have a great rest of the show. Thanks for being with us so much here on The Steve Beaman Show. A funny thing happened over the past years. Responsibility for retirement got shoved onto your back. IRAs, Keos, 401ks, and all the other alphabet soup of investment options were thrown to you with the happy statement, you're now in charge of your own retirement. The problem is, money doesn't come with an instruction book. Well, here's the instruction book with no biases, no conflicts of interest, a pure purpose to promote and provide financial education. Welcome to the Society to Advance Financial Education, a 501c3 not-for-profit organization created and sustained to help you, real people in the real world. When you need a friend in finance, someone to explain things and make them understandable to you, you need SAFE. We have spoken to hundreds, thousands of people in transition, men and women dealing with retirement, college planning, divorce, death, transitions of all kinds, and we're there to help. Visit safefinancial.org on the web and become a member. Let our educational tools help you. Welcome back to this, the Master Your Words segment of our show, in which we go down a word that is designed to give special meaning to your life. We've talked about mindfulness, natural law. We've talked attitude and belief systems. Yep. We've talked a lot of things, and each week we do, and this is our P word. We're going obviously through the alphabet, not too hard to figure out. But Carol, we had so much on this.
There's
Where did we
so
come
many
down?
words with P.
Oh,
I mean,
powerful.
Powerful, personal power, projecting.
Which is why we may have to do the show for a long time, because each segment will go through a new one, right? So where did we come down today?
We just couldn't decide on one, and I suggested purpose.
Yes, you did.
You suggested passion.
Yes.
And you know, they're symbiotic words, because you can't, if you fully deploy just one, you're totally out of balance, and this is what we're going to talk about.
Yep.
But when you put them together, that's where you have that synergy, and that's where power comes in.
Oh, we added a third. So we're
Well-
on passionate purpose for power.
Well, no, wait a minute. Let's not talk, because power, it could be
No,
misconstrued.
that's an outcome.
But right, I'm talking that good.
Yeah, let's call that an
intrinsic-
outcome.
Wait, a positive personal power. How does
here we
that
go.
grab
There's
you?
like 1,000
But you know what?
keywords.
This is coming from the heart. I'm not.
Right.
I'm
No,
not
no.
paraphrasing this.
No.
But let's talk about this purpose with passion. Let's talk about them individually. Let's talk about them individually first. Let's say you're just going along with a purpose. I have a purpose. My day is started off with a purpose.
What's your purpose? I know you're saying it could be anything.
It could be
You're
anything. It could
doing
be
an
anything.
analogy here.
Okay, I mean, a lot of they're different for
Literary
me.
license.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clean my house today.
Let's talk
clean
specific.
the closet.
We have a purpose on this show to serve
That's-
people.
There you go.
Our
okay.
purpose is to help people have a
Okay.
better life.
Right, we're gonna help people, Steve. All right.
Oh, if we do that, everybody will turn off.
Right, but let's say you fired up and get that passion going. We are really here, and this is true. We are here to help people. Now
Yeah.
we've put some gas. That passion is that gas behind the
The
purpose.
question is, can you actually have genuine purpose without genuine passion?
Oh, that's perfect. I love the way you. That's perfect. I know the P word is just so.
It's all over the place.
profound.
We may never leave this. We
It's
may just, it's
profound.
the twilight zone. We may just come back.
Well, this is going to go way too fast. But no, now, Steve, let's say you have passion, but you don't have a focus and a purpose.
That just leads to spinning your wheels.
It's
You
called
can-
on focus.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can be the most passionate person in the world, and if you don't know where you're going, it's just not there.
well, and you know something? The reason why, when I said to you, need one without the other, I have a tendency to be a very passionate person anyway.
You get to know her, folks. Little personal insight into my co-host here. Her passion index is off the charts.
But sometimes my passion is misdirected, and it does get you going down bunny holes and not focus.
Absolutely.
And it wastes energy, which you only have a finite amount of energy.
No,
Okay.
you?
Well, and all of us have a finite amount of energy.
wish I
It
had a
wastes
tenth of
time,
yours.
and there's definitely time is our most valuable,
Time is a big one. Time is a commodity. Yeah,
non-renewable
it's a big deal.
commodity. Absolutely. So when you take passion and you put passion into a good and noble purpose, and you focus on it, oh my gosh,
Talk about superpower, right?
it is a superpower.
Because,
it is a
and I'll
superpower.
go back to specifics. The reason this show exists is because Carol and I sat around talking about how the world is in this transition. Social transition, economic transition, all these things that are hitting everybody every day.
It kind of depresses me sometimes, but talking to you and your perspective got me less depressed.
It is depressing because it's change and we don't know where it's going to go.
But change
and-
can be really good if there's a purpose to that
Absolutely.
change.
And so we start this show with a pure purpose, a purpose to help you live a better life.
Empower you.
And it's all we're about. So that purpose ties to our passion, which is why when you come on and you see us moving around and dancing around, this stuff genuinely gets us excited.
You know, here's the thing. Politics is another P word.
Leave
But
it out of my show.
But
Ugh.
Steve, that's the thing. Politics really only has one purpose in my brain, and that's to divide people.
Makes you negative.
And how do you have a nation united that's divided all the time? And
Because they'll come together on the Steve Beaman show and we'll have 100 million people get their 5 paths together.
But that's the thing. It's not politics that's going to save us.
No,
It's
we're not
us,
even
the
allowed.
purposeful people
It
that
even makes me
will.
nervous that you bring that word up because I'm like, no.
I know, but it was a P word, and it's
I
pertinent
know.
to this particular production that we're doing.
That was well done. I can't argue with that. Kudos to you for that.
Kudos to you, it's Parisi.
But absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Stop
folks.
it already.
All
Stop
right,
it. Stop
all
it.
right.
This is just off the charts. But anyway, okay. So you all get the point, though. If you've got purpose and you've got passion and you have Parisi as a co-host, how can you be perfunctory performing in a wrong way?
There you go. And hopefully we're projecting a lot of positive things out there. But no, but
Oh my
seriously,
gosh.
obviously, Steve, we are passionate. We are passionate about this
Come
mission.
watch the video and you'll see it.
Well, I mean, I know I'm Italian. I talk with the hands anyway. But no, live with passion. Take your purpose and just bring it, and it's
And
going to
purpose,
change your
by
life.
the way, folks, doesn't have to be the grand thing. Purpose can be, listen, I'm going to do the best with my kids today. I can do the best with my spouse, with my job. Whatever it is, ignite in yourself a belief that you can take that purpose to a new level because you can.
Absolutely.
It's within you. It's
Absolutely.
there. It's able. And you can find that passion within you to say, you know what? I'm getting out of the rut and into the groove.
Well, and if you can't, contact us because we have resources and tools to help you, and we want to help you. We want to help you create your ideal life with passion and purpose.
We're going to redo a nation because we're going to redo everybody's lives. We're coming around the corner here in the Master Your Money segment where we get really serious, and we're going to talk about planning because so many people don't. We just finished tax time, and I know, like me, many of you are thinking, wow, this gets more complicated every year. I'm Steve Beaman, and my friends at Beaman Associates have been helping individuals and successful businesses for over 20 years. In construction, they say measure twice and cut once. In accounting, trust me, research and plan before you act. When you need powerful tax and accounting advice for you or for your business, contact Beaman Associates at 630-653-3510. Visit Beaman Associates.
Now, back to the Steve Beaman Show for insight on your money and the nation's financial future.
Hello and welcome back to the Master Your Money segment with my co-host doing an air guitar to this beautiful music. What do you do to that?
This is the Who, man.
It is the Who.
We won't get fooled again.
Well, we got fooled again, and then we ended up where we are. And I don't know where that was even going. But we're here. We are in the segment Master Your Money. We're sponsored, as always, by the Society to Advance Financial Education. That's the not-for-profit I started, which is designed with a pure purpose to give you the financial tools you need and knowledge to build a better path to prosperity. The P words are everywhere.
It's huge. Yeah, I'm not even going to go there because I don't
We're
want
not
to
going to start that. But we're also sponsored real quick by John Grebe, our friend who's an accountant out in the Wheaton area at 630-653-3510, 630-653-3510. If you have questions on your taxes as you approach the year end, give John a call. He'll help you out and tell him we sent you. So yeah, Carol, we're talking about planning today.
Steve, it's been said, fail to plan and plan to fail.
And nowhere is that more true than in money. I've talked with thousands of people, thousands of them, and I look at them and say, so what is your plan to build your retirement, your college fund, your wealth? Well, I have a broker. No. What is your plan? Well, I have an uncle who does this. I have a brother-in-law who does this. I have a plumber who reads Money Magazine. No, yet, the old Russian word. What is your plan? And my point is this. Planning for money is really, really simple. You look at where you want to go. You say, this is my target wealth at my target age. And then you back into that how much money you need to earn in order to get there. That's it. It's not that hard.
Yes, it is that hard.
Well,
you know why? It requires discipline.
It does
The
require
discipline
that.
part is hard.
The emotional path comes into the financial path.
You know something? And then there's also, I have a lot more week at the end of my paycheck.
There is the discipline of the emotional path, the knowledge of the intellectual path.
I remember, what happens when you don't make enough money?
I would argue that in the wealthiest society in the history of the world, everybody makes enough money. If you make $36,000 a year right now, you can save your pennies, cut your expenses, and start to be smart enough to put a little bit of money away. And guess what? Money does generate money. A little bit of money creates a little more money. And there are ways you can do this. It's not everybody's going to be worth Donald Trump's billions, but we can get people to be much more better off than they are.
Okay, and I agree with you, but I have to give you a counterpoint from my 22-year-old perspective, making nothing, having a rent to pay, having car to pay for gas. Now, I never had a car payment.
You folks need to watch the video because I'm looking really intense at Carol right now. I'm looking a little bit disgusted.
I know you're going to be disgusted, but I'm just trying to keep it real because I know. But wait a minute. Are you telling me I should not go ahead and go to the clubs with my friends for free drinks for ladies' night and have to buy those clothes?
Let me start with the basics. Let's assume you have no money. You don't have a savings account. You got nothing. Right now, I'm willing to bet you have a phone.
I need a phone.
I know. I'm saying use your phone for a productive purpose.
How do I use it for a productive purpose?
Go onto your smartphone, look up the app, Acorns.
Okay.
I've talked about it before.
Yes, you have. Yes,
what
you
a
have.
great way to say to somebody, here's a way to start. Look, here's the idea. You go home at night. We all do this. And we have change in our purse, in our pants, whatever.
Yes.
We throw it in a jar or on the floor. What Acorns does is goes into your checking account and takes the pennies. When you spend $2.98, it takes 2 cents. When you spend $1.73, it takes 27 cents. That pennies that you're saving begin to put money away for you. $500, $1,000 over the course of a year. That's a start to building a path to prosperity.
That's huge. They didn't have that back in my 20s.
They didn't. And it takes less discipline because you don't have to do it.
You don't have to do it. Now,
so just real quick, that's one way I can just jump on this and say everybody can do this.
So what is in the next minute or so, what is a good financial plan for someone?
A simple one that you can understand, number one. So often we go to CFPs, that's certified financial planners, or we go to our advisors, and they create these complicated things that have all these scenarios and and you just glaze over and go, I don't get it. Look, you can do a simple one. If you're sitting there right now, you're 30 years old, and you're saying, well, my goal would be to kind of retire at 70. So you got 40 years to go. And I make $50,000 a year right now, so I need to generate $50,000 in income. Well, I'll tell you right off the mark, you need $1 million in the bank. So you've got 40 years to put $1 million away. That means you have to save some, you have to invest and earn some.
40 years from now, is that 50,000 going to be able to buy as much as it does now?
You just added a level of complexity. Let's plan for inflation.
But isn't that that's got to be a rational thing to do?
Absolutely, you should put it in there. So let's assume you can plan historical inflation at 3% a year. So your 50,000 over 3% a year growth for the next 40 years will be, I'm going to do the math in my head real quick, like 112,000.
Okay.
I'm wrong, by the way. Somebody doing the math is going to go, that's
Steve,
but it's the concept.
You know what? I will tell you something. My aunt used to say to me, pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. Take a little bit, take 10% and put it away for a rainy day.
By the way, I think I was close. You know the rule of 72?
Yes.
Well, if you take 72 divided by a 3% inflation rate, it's like 25. So that means your money doubles every 25 years. So if I've got 40 years, I'm going to double 1.5 times. So that 50,000 is like 120,000.
Steve is the master of money.
I did it.
Contact him. Contact him if you have questions on planning. SAFE is a 501c3 non-for-profit organization. He's got tons of information.
And we're doing the website over, and we're creating a whole bunch of new stuff for SAFE. By the end of this month, I'll have a new newsletter that it has. And we're talking a high-quality, comprehensive newsletter, and it's like $5 a month. This is going to change SAFE and change the way we interact with our clients. So we want you to be there at safefinancial.org. The website will come out by the end of this month, too. There is one up there, but it's not our...
I can't wait. Well, I'm a member of SAFE, so it's very valuable.
All right, folks, when we come back, we have an entirely new... passionate challenge for you.
I think so.
So we're going to do that. We're going to talk with you about next week's show. So we'll be right back here on the Steve Beaman Show.
Welcome back to this great edition of the Steve Beaman Show. This is Carol Parisi, and my host Steve is having way too much fun today. Guys, this goes Steve, this goes too fast. I hope our audience, it goes as fast for them as it does for us.
No, they're probably sleeping halfway through it. For me, I'm having a great time with this.
You're having way too much fun today.
This has been, again, one of these great shows I like because we talked about the mind of an Olympian. I mean, how much bigger do you get than that?
It's huge.
And then we talked about a physical path, which is a P, with Pilates.
Pilates, double Ps today. We're doing double Ps. How profound.
We came down at the bottom of the hour, and we filled you all up with more P words.
Well, the big ones, though, were passion with purpose.
And that leads us to a challenge for this week.
I love it.
Each week we try to wake you up with something to do different in your life, something that Carol and I do that changes our perspective on things.
Perspective's another word. Steve, you know what, though? We do these challenges ourselves because that actually helps us. And if you're doing the challenge and you're benefiting from them, we would so love to hear from you. So please contact us.
Carol really, really would like to hear from you at carol@stevebeaman.com. She has
Call
this
me, baby.
like every day. Steve, how many people wrote? How many people wrote?
And I love to respond to all y'all.
She's much better at it than I am. So anyway, that's all good. So here's what we're going to do this week for the challenge. we're going to ask that you, and one time long ago, we asked you to wake up in the morning and think about meaning in your life and all the attitudes.
Keep your gratitude, your attitude of gratitude. Too.
This time, we're going to say, when you wake up in the morning, think about what your purpose is and where you can put passion behind it that you haven't in the past.
I love that.
Little things. I got to clean the house. Can you do it with a little more passion?
You know,
Turn on some tunes, enjoy it, smile, laugh, and say, I'm doing it for Carol and Steve, but I'm going to do this with a higher level of passion today.
You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it to your, I'll tell you something. As a Christian, a lot of times that passion comes from us doing things as unto the Lord. True.
That gets into the spiritual path.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about, we've got that coming in a future show. We got 3 spiritual things too, right? But we talked about the mind of an Olympian. You cannot have it all together if you don't have your spiritual path intact.
Some spiritual journey, yes.
Yeah, and we've opened up. Carol and I both come out of the Christian world, and we believe in that, and it drives a lot of what we think. But we're not going to preach it and say, hey, if you don't, you can't have one. We understand that you can. But so if you come out this week and you wake up in the morning just one day and say, I'm going to get out of bed on a purpose and I'm going to show passion.
You know something, Pilates is very purposeful and passionate too, because Pilates, it takes the best of the both. It's a holistic approach. You put your mind into your muscle. Isn't that a passionate way to work out when you're really focused and thinking about that muscle to grow and strengthen and elongate that muscle?
It all works.
So it works together.
It works together. Hey, next week when you join us, we're on the Q word. So think about this week what the Q word's going to be, because we're talking in the break.
It's going to be quite interesting.
It is, and it's going to be quite a show. So you don't want to miss that. We, of course, will be on the physical path. We'll be down to the words. We have another Master Your Money segment we're excited about. And again, don't forget to join safefinancial.org. Don't forget to visit John Grebe at 630-65. Flood his phone line, 653-3510.
630-653-3510. That's John Grebe. And what about our delicious, nutritious, anti-inflammatory Cherry Bundy?
We got them to give us a whole bunch of coupons. They're sending them up this week. We can send you guys coupons. You can walk into your retailers. If you live by a Walgreens, walk into Walgreens and tell them to carry the product.
Talk to the manager and ask for the product. Ask
really
for it
want
by
this
name.
product
Tell
in
them
Walgreens.
Steve and Carol sent you too.
Absolutely. We absolutely do. So you got to stick around and join us next week when we do the Q word. Hey, visit stevebeaman.com. All of our articles are up there. Our videos are up there. Kind of the archive of everything we've done, so you can laugh with us every day.
Friend us on Facebook.
And because I'm still, even though I think this week I was lax on the Beaman reports because I got really
a little
busy.
bit.
But I'll be back.
You were busy.
I'll be back next week with more Beaman reports. Hey, if you'd like to sponsor the show, give us a call. Give Carol a note. And don't forget that Jim Thompson, who helps us put together this show, is part of the team, and he does just a fabulous job. Thanks, Jim. And folks, it is from our heart to your heart that we do this, because this show is all about you. So have a great week ahead. Godspeed to all of you, and thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.